Look at this. This is Vegemite. It is the most Australian food product that exists. It's black. It smells like soy sauce mixed with something your gran left in the fridge. It spreads like tar, and it tastes, well, we'll get to that later. This little jar has started more arguments than cricket, politics, or even a Tim Tam slam. Americans gag at it, Brits squint, and yet Australians absolutely unashamedly love it. And today, we're going to find out why, because this isn't just about a condiment. This is about identity, about what happens when a country embraces something objectively bizarre. Let's go back to 1922. Australia was a young nation still figuring out its own identity. An Australian food scientist named Cyril Callister was given a brief: make something like Marmite. He took a byproduct of beer brewing, spent brewer's yeast, and made it edible. In 1922, the Fred Walker Company launched Vegemite to the Australian public, and nobody cared. Then World War II hit, imports were cut off, Vegemite was one of the only options left. The government recognized it was packed with B vitamins, nutrients critical for wartime rationing. They once tried renaming it Parwell, a pun so painful it made marketing history for the wrong reasons. For years, it was so tightly controlled you could only get it with a doctor's prescription. It was distributed to soldiers. It became more than food, it was how Australians survived the war. Doctors recommended it, hospitals used it, it became embedded in the national routine. Mothers spread it for their children because it was Australian, because it was home. And those children grew up and spread it for their children for over 100 years. The slogan, "Happy Little Vegemites," became one of the most iconic jingles in history. It was woven into childhood memories and into millions of school lunchboxes. Every year, Australians buy 22 million jars. That's almost one jar for every person in the country. It's about Saturday morning toast before footy, about being cared for when you were sick. That's not just taste, that's memory, that's nostalgia so deep it's basically hardwired. Vegemite is about as Australian as it gets. Born out of necessity, surviving a world war. When foreigners reject it, we don't just hear, "I don't like this," we hear, "I don't understand you." The most common mistake first-timers make is the portion size. You do not spread it thick. They pile it on like Nutella, take a massive bite, and feel nothing but existential regret. Influencers call it an assault or distilled sadness, but they're just doing it wrong. Japanese tourists tend to go quiet. One called it very interesting, but not in a good way. It's saltier and more savory than Marmite, catching even experienced consumers off guard. But Australians don't need the world's approval. We eat it anyway, proudly. It's the ultimate underdog food. Defending it is like defending the feeling of being Australian. Ask an Aussie why they love it and they'll tell you about their mum's kitchen. They'll tell you about the smell of toast on a rainy morning. It's flavor memory association. Our brains link these smells to powerful childhood emotions. That's what we're really enjoying. Australia is still working out what it means to be distinctly Australian. Vegemite is a part of that. It's a young country displacement in history. Food is where that identity gets expressed. Applied correctly, it is genuinely delicious. Vegemite on avocado toast is a modern classic. The key is umami. On warm toast with a thick layer of salted butter, it just works. The butteriness balances the salt and bitterness. Scientifically, chemically, it makes sense. It's a seasoning, not just a spread. Stir it into pasta sauce for depth. Even Italians agree. Vegemite in cheese scrolls. Vegemite butter on corn. It's a seasoning that lives in a jar. Every culture has something like this. Japan has natto. Scandinavia has surströmming. These foods aren't universally appealing. They're loved because they're specific to a culture. They carry a culture's history in their flavor. Eating them connects you to something real. Is it legitimately great food or an acquired taste you had to be born Australian to enjoy? If you grew up eating it every morning from the age of 2, do you think you'd love it? Or is some food just genuinely, objectively bad no matter what? Tell me below. We don't just talk about this country from the outside, we experience it. Hit subscribe for more. Find a jar, get real butter on warm toast, take one small bite, and tell me what happened.